Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing some Halloween prints. I'm going to use my golden paints. Recently I did a video on PlayDoh, using PlayDoh. So I am going to use PlayDoh for some of my stamps. I don't want to put paint all over my stamps, so I'm going to see how they transfer just using the gel plate. This is carbon black. Can't really tell if that's doing much. I'll just finish out here and maybe here. Okay, and I don't know what that's going to look like, so I might need to maybe use a different paint. I just used some of my satin paints to pull this one up. Make a little thinner. Alright, and we'll see if this shows any of those designs. No, I can't make them out. So, I think it's the paint. The golden doesn't, it laces, and I think the lacing is why it didn't work. So I'm using my Galleria Winsor & Newton. This is a very thick, dark black color, Mars Black. Alright, it is starting to lace just a little bit, not as bad as the golden. I pressed my stamp in just a little bit harder. Oh, that's much better. Okay, and maybe I'll do a little bit there. Okay, now I'll let that dry and see what that looks like. Okay, I'm going to go in with some golden paints on the background since I couldn't do them to pull the texture. I'm using purple, a reddish color, and an orange color. Oh yeah, that's much better. The golden paints are so vibrant and beautiful in the back. And that black, it's a matte black, but it's so rich. And it really worked to take the stamping from the PlayDoh. I love that. So let's play around and do some different Halloween prints. So I rolled out a different PlayDoh. I have an orange one that I've been using, and I kept my blue shape for now. I've got this little witch and some stars. Just gonna press that in. I have a cute little ghost. right, and let's see. Yeah, set that aside. This is the stamp set. I got this a long time ago, I think at Tuesday morning, and I don't think this is available anymore, but that's the set that I'm using. I'm using the same black. I have this glitter paint writer. I'm just going to see if I can put a little bit of that glitter down. There we go. It's definitely more splattery with that, the glitter. I've got a little bit of yellow and green here, and just a warmer yellow or medium yellow here. Okay, and then I'll just use that to see if I can see those designs, but I think I'll try it again with just the black. Okay, let's see. This one could definitely use some improvement. I do like the glitter. You can kind of see it. So I think still think I want to start with the black layer. I'm just going to leave that green there. That's okay. Okay, we'll come back. So this time I'm going to make a purple with the Phthalo Blue Red shade and the magenta. Okay, got a little bit of that green left over up here. The purple and blue are such a deep color. I can barely see until I tilt it into the light. So I think what I would do on the next one with this dark color is add white to it, so that will show through better. So let's make another one. I've got these screen prints. Can't really tell, but it's a screen. And just the black area is what's going to keep the paint hopefully going through, and then the screen, if you can see, there's a little mesh there. I have these designs, and then I have this really cool looking tree. Looks like a gate. It's a couple different just neat looking designs. So I am going to try screen printing on my Gelli plate. Start with this tree. I think the best way to put the paint on is going to be using a thin card, in this case my Chick-fil-A card. Pick up a little bit of the paint, just kind of start going over the tree, and I'm going to try not to get it off of the little screened area. And this is that same Winsor Newton black. I've used these screen prints on paper. It's a little bit more challenging because the edges, I always got paper or ink or paint kind of going outside of this. So I think if I were to get paint, let's say accidentally, on the gel plate, I can fix it. Oh, that looks so cool. So right away, since it's still wet. I can scrape away some of that paint, and then I can probably just use tape once it dries, and I can remove the rest of that. Okay, I've just got a piece of regular tape. And basically make a little bit of a mess. And since I'm transferring it onto the gel plate first, I can clean my mess before I transfer it onto my paper, which I don't have that luxury when I try screen printing directly onto my paper. Alright, so I got a tree. I flipped the stencil over so that it matches this side this way. And the same thing. So cool. Alright, so I'll let that dry next. Alright, up next I'll use this little fence or gate. And I'll do at least one more and let that dry. I'll use this acrylic white, and to get it to where it'll just go where the moon is, I'm going to try using a sponge. I put some on my brayer off sheet, some of the white. What's cool about the sponge is it gives it kind of like the look of craters. And I'll do a little bit more just in the center. Okay. So I know I want to add white to my transparent colors. So I'm using a second jelly plate. I just put a line of that same acrylic titanium white. I'm going to go in with some purple, naphthol red, magenta. I wanted to swap those. That's okay. We'll see how this turns out. And yellow. I did put it on a little bit thick. And then what I'll do is I have this little haunted house. I'm gonna put it like it's coming through the fence. This is just a wood piece from Dollar Tree. And I've got these bats that I cut out of foam and just put onto my piece of cardboard. And since I've got this over here, might as well do that too. So for this one, I have this, this is just a texture that you can use for using glass paints on it. I just like using it on the gel plate. A few more bats. I'll go in with a little bit of this Artist Lofts Gold. I'm going to do it on both of them. I don't want to pull that one just yet because I want to put black behind this. You can see those colors didn't blend out too great, and that's why I wanted to use the second jelly plate to blend those colors so that I didn't have this happen on that one. So I can still use this for parts. Like this little bat over here looks cool, and the crackling. So yeah, the colors are still really pretty. Ooh, that looks really cool. I wasn't sure what to expect with the haunted house, but I love that it looks like it's almost like foggy and just in the background of the trees, in the distance. And look at the moon. And the little bats are in the background with the little crackling. And those trees and that fence, it just looks so good. I actually like the coloring. It's not super spooky, like dark, but it's kind of like a sunset. So I think that looks really good. I love it. I love how that turned out. Here are the completed prints for this session. Again, I was trying to make some kind of Halloween spooky, bright colored prints. They didn't all turn out how I wanted, but I think these two right here are definitely my favorites. And I just love that house behind the trees, behind the fence, and the moon. I think it looks so cool. And then the little skeleton heads, looks like a background page from like a scrapbook paper pack. So I think this will be really fun to do some Halloween crafting with, maybe make a card or something, and see what I want to make for my next set of Halloween prints, or just fall prints, we'll see. But now that it's officially fall, definitely have more things I want to try. So I hope you enjoyed watching and following along, and I hope to see you in the next video. Happy crafting, y'all!